We have three elements that we're really focusing on. One is the decarbonisation across all sectors. So that's the buildings where we live, it's the transportation systems, it's electrifying all of our energy grids, agriculture as well. We also want to be looking at carbon pricing. We need to have the technologies to actually deploy technologies to capture carbon. That means a much higher carbon price. And we also want to protect and restore nature. These are forgotten ecosystems which are incredibly useful for capturing and storing carbon. Water, fresh water and oceans have incredible financial materiality. For us, we don't believe enough people know the risks around these two sources of water. And when we look at fresh water, over the last 30 years or so, it's around about 90% of all natural disasters are related to water in terms of the number of people they affect. And this is whether it's droughts too much, too little, or too polluted. And when we go to oceans, I also don't think people have really enough knowledge of what these ecosystems are providing, whether it's the coastal habitats and the seagrasses and mangroves, or it's the overfishing, or it's the chemical pollution, the algae blooms, forests as well, which we didn't talk about, but these are also incredibly important. But when it comes to oceans, coastal habitats, for example, are absorbing 2 to 4 times as much carbon as a rainforest, yet they're being destroyed and degrading 4 times faster. So for us, it's the financial materiality, it's the awareness, and ultimately it's going to be the products that we produce and deliver to the market, and also the engagement strategies at DWS that we are constructing to be very forceful in driving change among these companies. I think the first thing for the public sector is we need to give legal rights to nature. Nature is really abused every single day, and I want to see more banning, more activities that are made illegal. We see this with money laundering and terrorism financing, but we want to see it across the ocean economy. So this can be banning bottom trawling in terms of fishing. That releases more CO2 than the airline industry. We also want to ban whaling. Whales and their waste products are incredibly important for plankton growth, and this is a carbon sequestration vehicle. We want to see banning of the destruction of coastal habitats. I mean, there's a list goes on and on and on of what action government can really send signals to protect these habitats. And I think for the financial community, naturally it is looking at impact. The financial community has spent, I think, too much time looking at risk managing their investments, trying to, in a way, run away from the risks of ESG. They need to move to actually capturing the opportunity and actually harvesting a lot of the opportunities that the oceans provide. But so I'd say one message for the financial community and asset managers, much forceful engagement with those companies that are operating in this blue economy, the oil and gas companies, the liners, the shipping, the machine, I mean, the list goes on, and we can be very forceful to see new technologies come in here, because in a way I think the fishing and marine industries are quite living on 19th, 20th century technologies, and I think they are in need of an enormous upgrade which will be very beneficial for the climate net zero objective we're all trying to reach.